know we have a bunch of hungry people looking for a lot of information here, so we're going to get that to you. And Tanya, I just got your message there on chat. So we did record today's overview or today's training with how to get to director within 90 days. I will post that along with this recording at the conclusion of this event. Okay, so stay tuned. That will be up on the YouTube channel. We are going to be doing a combination of trainings and overviews. So kind of like get your guests on when it's an overview and get your people who are already kind of on board and want to do this, or just maybe they want more advanced information before they get involved. So that's fine. Anybody can really attend any of our events. But so tomorrow it will be 1 o'clock and 7 o'clock p.m. I'll put this out on the Telegram channel, and we'll send it out via our text update list as well. We will have Think overviews with Q&A tomorrow at 1 and 7. So no trainings tomorrow. It's like get your guests on at 1 and 7 p.m. And then we'll be back with a combination of that, of trainings and of training and overview on Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be back to just overviews for 1 and 7, and then Friday will be all training as well at 1 and 7. So a lot of information to share with you guys. Appreciate you taking some time here. So check out our YouTube channel, check out the 8-minute overview. I've been trying to get a shorter version of the 8-minute overview, maybe down to like 3, 4, 5 minutes. Just haven't had time to do it yet, but we will get that to everybody when we have a chance. So again, appreciate you being here. Let's and also check out the thinkenergy.plus site. There's a lot of great information there too. So let's get this recorded.
Recording in progress.
All right, we've got the recording going. So let's get started and talk about first, what's let's get you kind of in the mindset of looking at the markets that we're going to be opening in. And, when we think about markets, what do we think about? We think about, well, what are we offering in those markets? And, kind of how's it going to work? And all those things. So let's get into the mode, and I'll do a little bit of review, and then we'll talk about each individual market. So again, always keep this in mind whenever you're thinking about a market, because here's the thing. What I know is when you're working with long-term rates, long-term fixed rates, there's going to be times when we're lower than the utility. There's going to be times when we're higher than the utility. We'll talk about that, but it's all based on those historic natural gas prices that we've talked about so much, and really getting that into people's brains so that they can understand, because that little rectangle that's in the green, that's surrounded by green, that is what energy and electricity prices are going to look like, over the next 5 years. That's what they're going to look like. We already know that because it's based on the price of natural gas. And so we have this long-term third-party supply. We also are offering community solar, as we know, and we have a free energy program, and we have smart meter programs, and we have some additional things that are coming in the future. But look, this is what everybody's electricity bill is going to look like over the next 5 years. You can't avoid it. It's just, this is what it's going to be like. You're going to have ups and downs. See all the January months? That's when it's at its highest, in January. And then in the summer is when it's at its lowest. That's how it works with natural gas, because the price of electricity is based on the price of natural gas. As natural gas goes up in demand, which is in the heating months, the price of electricity goes up, and then it comes down in the summer. That will always happen. It's happened for 30 years. The difference is, or 40 years, it's happening. The difference is that it's happening at a higher level across the board. So we're not going to have the historic lows. Even the lows are still historic highs, and the highs are just super high, which is what people are experiencing now as these markets, as these states and utility companies start to adjust their rates, because about half of the states have already adjusted their rates up for the long term, and about half of them are about to, and we're going to enter all those states. So just at some time, sometimes we will be higher, sometimes we will be lower, kind of keep that in mind. But across the board, it's a much better program for a customer to stay with us than to ride these roller coaster of rates. So 1 and 2 year rates are tough right now, but when you look at the 3 to 5 year rate, that's where you hit the sweet spot. You see, you can actually save money long term. Then you add in the community solar, you add in the referrals for 3 and 10 and 20 referrals, and now there's no way anybody can touch you, even by just electing one of these other options beyond just a rate. And in most of the states, we are offering multiple kind of services or multiple ways that they can chip away at that bill. So just want to get you in the mindset of this chart, because this chart, this particular slide, is probably the most important slide of the entire customer aspect of what we do. And so we're going to publish this slide just on our Telegram channel and send it out via text and stuff like that, so that people can have it and share it with people to really educate, because it's a powerful thing when people look at this and they go, wow, I don't want the blue line. I don't want the blue up and down roller coaster. I'd like this other program. So here's where we are, the states, as you, all of you probably know, we've drilled this into your heads a lot, right? Connecticut, Delaware, Illinois, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, New York, and New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, and Washington, D.C. And you can see the key over here, E, F, C, and S: electricity, free energy, community solar, and smart meters. All right, so that we know. So let's give you a Maine, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island kind of market update. And we'll get to questions at the end so that you have them. Feel free to put anything in the chat box. We'll get to questions. So we're talking electricity and free energy club at launch, with community solar to follow weeks or months. I think it's going to be in the weeks range with these states, especially Maine, which will be our first community solar market right out of the gate. So we're going to launch electricity in all the states and then community solar very shortly thereafter. Maine will be the first one, it looks like. And there's going to be a dual billing option to start. It might be a little confusing to people, but right out of the gate, at least to start anyway, we're starting early in that market. Initially, people, if they sign up right away in Maine, they'll be going on to what's called dual billing. So we can talk about that further, but it's basically like they get a half of their bill from the utility company, half of their bill from Think Energy. Now, shortly thereafter, that program, dual billing, will end. It'll switch and it'll move over into Think Energy being able to put the credit from community solar right onto the existing bill. See, we are the first ones in the market to ever do this. And so they're having to change the way they do business to accommodate us. So they will get that done shortly after we launch. But initially, if people want to get onto community solar, they can get on, and they can go on to dual billing if they want to do that. If they want to wait until the state fixes, not fixes it, but the state basically updates their programs, their systems, so that we can put the credit right on the bill. That will be happening very shortly thereafter, probably within, a couple months. So that's what's going on in the Maine market. See, it's a really cool thing when you go into a market and nobody else has ever done it. So they've never even created it so that you can do it. I mean, that's a really cool thing. We are the pioneers. We are the ones. So Maine is Central Maine Power and Versant. So there will be smart meters there as well in 2024. Massachusetts is National Grid and Eversource. So wherever National Grid and Eversource, if people have those bills, they can participate. Rhode Island is Rhode Island Energy, which is formerly National Grid. Some people still call it National Grid. Some people are already kind of switching their dialogue over to Rhode Island Energy. All right. And so our Think 3-year rates will be lower than the utility companies in all of these, in these 3 states at launch. We will be lower because it's based on that curve. The utility companies have already adjusted up, and so we're coming in much lower. That's how it's going to be in those markets. All right, so right out of the gate. All right, so that's Maine, Mass, and Rhode Island. We've got 3 out of like 13 states, I guess, if you consider Washington, D.C. a state. All right, so now let's get to New York. So New York, we are awaiting what's called a mass market license for residential. All that means is that there's some paperwork that just has to be filed. It's basically like, it's not like we won't get them, not like we're applying for a license. We're just waiting for it to be processed. Okay, so a lot of people ask that question. Is there a possibility we won't get the license? No, we already have the commercial side done. We're just waiting for the residential side. So it's going to take a little bit of time, but we're still on schedule to launch on our normal launch window, which is for all the states. It's looking like it's between January 30th and February 6th in that 1-week time frame. So it will be electricity and free energy club at launch for the New York market. And then community solar will be weeks or months later. That's to be determined. We don't have an exact date for that yet. There's also a new law that in New York that's going to into effect in July of 2023. So we'll talk about that later, but we'll get to that. But utility rates are variable in New York. So variable rates in New York. Everybody kind of knows that if you're in the New York market. And so everybody's asking, well, what are our rates going to be? Well, the rates in New York change like every day. Usually, sometimes every week, sometimes every day. Some of these rates change hourly in New York with some of the markets. And so we are going to compete over the long term in the state of New York. It's a long-term program. We're not going to be competing on a daily or weekly or monthly basis. It's just not going to happen in the state of New York. So Con Ed will be electricity only. The rest of the markets, NYSEG, National Grid, RGE, RG&E, Orange and Rockland, and Central Hudson, those will all be community solar as well. So just to give you an idea there, a lot of exciting stuff happening in the state of New York. It's like a triple threat state. It's just massive. There's more community solar in New York than anywhere else in the country, and Maine and Illinois are probably a close second. So let's talk about Illinois with the market update in Illinois. So we have the Electricity and Free Energy Club in Illinois at launch, with community solar to follow in the weeks or months after that. Probably, I'm thinking banking on weeks, after that. So we don't have an exact date, but it will launch shortly after that. So electricity first, it will be the ComEd territory at launch, and our Think 3-year rate or above. I mean, I'm saying 3-year, it could be 3-year, 4-year, 5-year. Each state will have different ranges offered there. So the Think 3-year rate will be lower than ComEd when we launch. So you'd be happy there, great, because they've already adjusted up and we are coming in at our flat fixed rate. And so it'll look great on that curve. Now, the Ameren territory will follow in weeks or months after that to be determined, because there's like some paperwork stuff that has to be done there in that state as well. So we also have smart meter savings coming up in 2024 in Illinois. So going to be a great market there. Illinois is just kind of wide open. It's like one of those quadruple threat states, along with Delaware, Maine, Maryland, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C. Those are all like quadruple threat states. So exciting platform there. And then Pennsylvania. Let's get to Pennsylvania. So it'll be electricity and the Free Energy Club at launch, like it is in all of our states. And then community solar. No community solar yet. A final vote is expected in the legislature in 2023. So they're in the process of finishing up community solar legislation. People, the representatives there have a chance to just pass it whenever they want. They've already done all of the background work, like all of the edits to the law, all of the let's try this, let's figure this out. They sent it to all the committees who sent back their changes, and there's no more changes that are in the process of being sent out. Now they just have to vote on it. And so they've got a bill in the House, they've got a bill in the Senate. So they work on those two in the legislature, and then it'll pass. So when it does, it's going to be the Wild West in Pennsylvania. Okay, it's just how it's going to be. So in the PP&L territory for electricity, Think will be lower at launch because they've already adjusted their rates up. In the other markets, expect Think to be in some of the markets about even though they haven't raised their rates yet. Our flat fixed rate long term is still coming in at the even or just slightly higher. Like it's looking like the territories like Pico might be an area where we come in right around the same rate as the utility, and then the utility is going to go up. So that's a good one. Duquesne is looking like around there as well. It'll be pretty close, and then it's going to go up. And then all the other markets, we're going to come in higher at launch. And then when the utilities make their adjustment, like all the other states have done, then their rate's going to go way up. And we're going to look really good on that curve, just like we kind of showed you. So that's how it works, depending on what time frame you come in. That's why we're not in the business of selling rates. That's not what we're in. Okay, we're in the business of helping people make better energy choices long term, so they can impact and bring their rate down over time. We're not in the business of what's your rate today. And what's it going to be 3 months from now? Our answer is it's the same. It's all the way the same all the way through. So we're not in the rates business. We're in the, being able to give people stable, predictable, affordable rates that they can knock down long term over time. We're not in the business of trying to compete on 1 day, 1 week, 1 month schedules, or even 3 month schedules, because that is just kind of futile when the market is so volatile like it is now. People can't win in that type of market where you're just rate hopping. You can't do it. So smart meter savings in 2024 in Pennsylvania as well make that a great state. So then we have New Hampshire. New Hampshire is Electricity and Free Energy Club at launch. It's the Eversource territory. I think some people call it PSNH or whatever, but that's what it is. And it's community solar is allowed in New York, okay? But in New Hampshire. But large farms that are actually farms where we could actually put lots of customers on, those are kind of like years away. So just to give you an idea, it is allowed. It's a law. They only allow these what are called 1 megawatt farms at a time, which really only allow like 100 customers or so onto their platform at a time. So it makes it so that you can't really ramp anything up quickly there. So there's all kinds of other rules there too that make it difficult to get people onto solar farms because it hasn't been widely adopted yet, but it is coming. New Hampshire will be on our map for community solar, within a year or two, something like that. So the Think 3-year rates in New Hampshire will be lower than the utility company at launch, will be lower than Eversource. So that's just to give you an idea. It's a great time to put people onto the platform and get them into that curve so that long-term they can ride out the roller coaster. So then we have states like, let's talk about these states because they're all pretty much the same. As far as their kind of factors here. So Maryland, Delaware, New Jersey, and Washington, D.C. Now, if you look at these are all states that are quadruple threat. They're every one of these states and Washington, D.C. is basically electricity, free energy, community solar, and smart meters in 2024. So these are great. It's a phenomenal place to build. Electricity and Free Energy Club at launch, community solar in the weeks and months to follow to be determined. Expect that Think rates are going to be higher at launch until the utility rates are adjusted in these states, because none of these states have adjusted their utility rates up yet like the other states have. So the news is going to start coming out soon in those states. So we're coming in based on the future rate, because it could be just weeks or a couple months until they raise their rates. And so some people are going to jump on that and say, hey, look, I know they're going up, so it takes a couple billing cycles to get on the platform. I should just get into the program right now, because by the time it hits, the rate's going to be up and I'm going to look real good when I hit that roller coaster. So that's kind of how it's going to be in those markets. And we'll have smart meters in all of those markets in 2024. A great place to build. It's just wide open. It's just a fantastic place to build. Ohio market, Ohio is very interesting too, because it will be electricity and free energy at launch. Community solar is in their final stages of legislation. Like, they just have to make one more vote and it will become law. And community solar in Ohio, get this, just to give you guys an idea. You probably don't know all this stuff about community solar, but I've been in the community solar field for 4 years. Ohio is a very exciting market. And the reason I say that is because most community solar laws in all the states, like the highest I've seen that they allow like megawatts per facility per solar farm. And megawatts are like the number of panels, or the number of how many customers can go onto that platform. Each megawatt is about 170 customers, 200 customers or so. So get this, most solar farms in most states are like 3, 4, 5 megawatts per farm. Like, that's the average, is about 5. Some of them are 10. Ohio is going to allow 50 megawatt community solar facilities. If you've been in community solar with us or doing anything in the past with us, if any of it, you understand how powerful that's going to be. So very interesting market. Anybody who builds in that market is going to be very happy long-term, even though it hasn't opened yet. It's going to soon. So expect Think rates in Ohio to be about the same in some areas, or a little higher at launch, because again, The utilities in Ohio have not adjusted their rates up yet. But again, same thing. You're going to have people that say, well, it's a little bit higher. Okay, I'll wait until it actually posts a rate that's way, think is a little bit higher than the utility right now. Okay, I'll wait 1 or 2 months until the utility actually goes up. Then I'll sign up. Okay, well, then you're going to be waiting a couple more months until you can get onto the platform. So you're going to get hit with that higher rate. So what we're going to do with our customers in that state, like Maryland and the other states, is we're going to look and see, like, when are those rates going to go up? Let's advise people on that, because if you know that it's coming like 2 months in advance, you might as well sign them up like right now. I mean, just get them onto the platform. So expect that. And then smart meter savings in 2024 in that market. I mean, just amazing. Now I'll bring the market that has the most notes about it, which is where I am in Connecticut. So Connecticut is just a crazy market, right? They like throw regulations out to the public, like, I don't know, like they're sneezing or something, so like they're every time they go to dinner, there's a new regulation. No, I'm just kidding. But customers in Connecticut, here it is. You can sign up directly with Think Energy right now. State law, in order to maintain the license, Think Energy has to publicly post their rate for anybody to go and sign up directly with the company. They have to do that by law. So anybody who's saying, oh, well, Think Energy is trying to get customers behind the back of the advisors, it's not it. It's just state law. In order to be licensed, you have to do that. So you can earn, and then customers can sign up. They can actually sign up now. I'm not recommending you do that, okay? But customers will be able to earn free energy starting in February 2023. Now, rates are lower than Eversource and United Illuminating. I mean, they're ridiculously lower. Like, our rate is 15 cents compared to 24.2. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. So if that'll give you any idea of how good the market in Connecticut will be once we're able to open up the full program for advisors. Advisors cannot get credit down the road on customers that sign up right now through Think Energy. So don't tell all of your customers to go sign up with Think Energy right now. Don't tell them to do that. I wouldn't do that right now. Connecticut residents can become advisors and enroll advisors in all 50 states when we launch. And so that's no problem. They can do that. You can sign up as an advisor. You can bring in advisors in all the other 50 states. What advisors cannot do is any advisor anywhere in the country cannot sign up Connecticut customers or earn or promote from a Connecticut customers yet. And I say yet, because Think Energy will be working in the near future. Once we get all the other markets launched, we'll go back to this pain in the butt market, Connecticut, and go and get things fixed so that we can allow advisors to sign up customers in Connecticut. So I have planned there next to that thing, because I want to, next to that kind of bullet point here, so that I can tell you what I would recommend as the plan. And I spoke with Mike Falquist about this, and I said, look, we have customers in Connecticut that their rate is 24 cents with the utility right now. And if we put them on to Think Energy, they'll sign up directly with Think. But I asked Mike, can we go and get those customers back later when we are able to earn off of, through the advisor portal? He said, no, if they come in directly to Think, you're not going to be able to acquire them back late, like bring them back or claim them. It wouldn't work because it's against regulations in the state. So therefore, what I'm recommending, what I'm telling all of my customers is go to the Connecticut rate board at energizect.com and go pick, because there are no fees in the state of Connecticut, right? So you can tell your family and friends right now, go sign up with the lowest rate that's on the Connecticut rate board right now. It might even be us. We're like right there. We're at the best rate in the state. But go find a different company other than Think just for the interim so that you can get them away from the utility company, which is 24 cents. Go find something in the 15 to 16 range, have them sign up for that, and let them sit there until we open the advisor program fully and you can bring them aboard as your customer. Again, there's no fees in the state of Connecticut. I would normally just say let them sit at the utility company, but the utility company is so high. I asked Mike and he said, that's the easiest way, the simplest way to do it is just use some other supplier for now as the interim, because we're not open to be able to let you earn from signing up customers. And so we want people to get credit for their customers and earn from their customers. And you're not going to be able to do that in Connecticut for a little while longer until we get this whole thing figured out. So community solar in Connecticut is allowed, but there's no widespread availability yet. Okay. So that will play in, just mark that in your mind, like in Connecticut, it's actually going to play in our favor in a big way because community solar has already been allowed by law and it's not something that's regulated like retail electricity supply. So because we are a community solar provider and a retail electricity provider, we're going to be able to do some things that other companies will not be able to do in the markets. So we'll have smart meter savings too in United Illuminating Territory in Connecticut. So wow, that's a lot of information. We'll get to questions. The future expansion plans are this: more community solar in a lot of states. As we know, we're going to go into Texas for electricity and smart meters and free energy. And then everywhere you build, you will be happy when you do it. Build everywhere you can in all markets right now, all markets, everywhere. Sign up advisors in every state, including Connecticut, and have them build everywhere. Because wherever you do that, we're going to launch natural gas in most of these markets in 2024. And whoever goes out and builds everywhere is going to be the happiest person, or going to be the happiest people. So again, we're in our pre-launch period, between now and mid-January. We've got like over the next week, we're going to open this up so people can start signing up as advisors all over the country. We'll have our official launch for customer enrollments, toward the end of this month or early first week of February 2023 is still our expected launch time. All right, so let's get to some questions if we have them. I appreciate everybody being here. I know that was a lot of information to go through, but just to give you an idea, it's a lot of information. All right, so Tanya, great. Thank you so much for everything as well. Let's see. Can you define this by state? I'm not sure what you mean there, Lee, with the timeline. So all of our states are going to open up in between, looks like, right now, unless there's any last minute changes, it's looking like end of January, early or first week of February, all the states. Will Long Island be off limits, Jeannie? Yes, Long Island is not deregulated. So the only thing we're going to be doing in Long Island, maybe community solar, but there's so few solar farms in Long Island because the land is so costly that they do other stuff with the land. The other thing is that we may go into the natural gas markets in 2024. But yeah, Long Island is not part of the state of New York's deregulated markets. Everywhere in the whole state is deregulated, except for Long Island. Do other competitor affiliate marketing companies offer community solar in New York? There are community solar companies. There's that do community solar, but not companies that do. So Lee, let me just tell you, I've worked in the community solar industry for 4 years with an affiliate marketing company. So I have a lot of experience in that. Okay. There aren't very many competitors. Let's put it that way. And here's the problem. In order to sign up for community solar in all the states with anyone really other than Think Energy, okay, because we're in a unique spot. We're a supplier for third-party electricity supply and a community solar provider. So all the other states, anywhere you go with community solar, the hardest thing to get people to do in community solar, imagine if I came to you and I said, hey, I want you to be a community solar customer, and you can get a guaranteed discount on your bill from a state program, no cost, just sign up. And then when you go to sign up, I say to you, this is how all the other competitors are. I say to you, okay, here's what I need. I need you to sign this 20-page document. It's a contract. There's a fee if you terminate. We need to do a credit check. Or we need you to give us a copy of your bill, and we need your utility login information. Like I need your username and password to get into your account for your electricity account at your utility company. And then I need your credit card or checking account information, because I need to put you on auto pay for your electricity bill. Like you'll have no choice except to pay the full bill every month on the same day with no changes. And that's how you get a community solar customer in the community solar world. Now with us, it's going to be like this. sign up for your electricity to get a long-term fixed rate, and then check off the box or just fill out a separate form online, all done online in just a couple minutes. No cost. We don't need your password. We don't need a copy of your bill. We don't need your utility login information. We're not doing a credit check. We don't need your banking information or your credit card, and you don't have to go on to auto pay. So do we have competitors? Yeah, but they're not doing things like we do. So I don't think we have competitors. What exactly is community solar? Okay, so community solar, right, is being able to remotely connect to a solar farm, community solar, a farm that's being built in your area, in your utility company's area, being able to do that and remotely connect to the solar farm in order to get a discount from a state program that gives you guaranteed savings on your electricity bill every month. Here it is, community solar right here. That's what a solar farm looks like. These things are popping up all over the country. It's the fastest growing segment of the energy sector. 22 states have community solar right now. The other 28 are in the process of doing it. It allows for someone, even if you live in an apartment or a condo, like you don't even have a roof, you don't have a rooftop where you can, install anything, right? You can just remotely connect to the solar farm electronically and get the discounts from solar without having to install solar panels or buy anything. It's the greatest program that's ever existed on the planet in the energy sector. And we have revolutionized and made it easier. We've built a better widget to be able to bring customers onto that platform. It's very powerful. The benefits of solar without having to buy or install solar panels. Imagine that. And in the process, because it's a state clean energy program, you're cleaning up the environment in the process. You guys, this is just phenomenal. Get more and more excited about it. Every time I have to explain community solar to someone and I say to them, it's like you get the benefits of having solar panels without having to install solar panels on your home and or business. So anyone, including renters, can participate. All you need is an electricity bill. That's it. Guys have to get good at saying that because you're going to make a ton of money in community solar over the next couple decades for this. Amazing what we have. So it's very exciting. Let's see. What else do we have? I'll get to that. Steve, let's see. Will Maine have natural gas? Yeah, if it's deregulated, yeah, but we'll see when we get there. Can you please put Illinois back on? Okay. Let's get to some other things here. I'll put that back up on the thing, and we'll get to the state of New York thing in a sec. I'll get to that. Are other states no fee states? No, just Connecticut is the only one that has no fees. Everywhere else, there's going to be early termination fees in all the states because we're dealing with long-term savings plans. And so that's how it is. Any company that goes out and does that, you're going to have that. And let's touch on that because think about this. Now, when you have early termination fees because of long-term savings plans, it's designed so that we can keep that rate stable for the customer. That's the first thing. The other thing is that it makes it so that there's less risk, right, to the company. Because if you buy 3 years of energy for someone and then in month 2 they say we don't need it anymore, you just bought all this energy and now you're not going to stay in business. So every state that has early termination fees for long term, the state allows it because they have to be able to allow companies to stay in business and offer people price certainty and price savings long term and flat, predictable, affordable, stable rates. You have to have that. So if a customer decides, hey, look, I came onto the platform, I've got a, $75, $100, $125 early termination fee. It's going to be in that range, not like $1,000 or anything like that. It's very small. Just in the scheme of things, it's very small. So if a customer says, well, I want to go to another company. Okay, great. You're going to have an early termination fee. And, at that point, depending on how long the customer's been with the company and the market conditions, they might change, they might do something to help them out with the fee, but that's not something that's definite. So there's a fee. But if you decide, hey, I want to stay with Think Energy, there's just new rates and I'd like to, get a new rate, great. talk to Think Energy about it. They can do a few things, right? They could potentially waive some of that fee, or so that you don't have to pay the whole thing. There could be a lot of things that they do, but the most common thing will probably be, how about we just take your fee and roll it into the new rate to give you a new 36-month plan? Like, this sounds fair, right? Hey, your rate is, I don't know, whatever. You have a fixed rate at 15 cents. Okay, great. And now you want to get a new rate because energy rates have come down in the summer or whatever. You want to get a new rate. Okay, great. We can roll that fee, that $125 fee, into, your new rate. So now your new rate for the next 36 months will be like 15.1 or 15.05. That's literally what it would be when you roll a $125 fee into 36 months of savings. So you're talking about very small amount. So that way the company's able to stay in business and help you get long-term rates, and you don't have to be rate hop, jumping from one company to the next and get stuck. All right. So if a customer enrolls early, they will have time to get friends and family on the program. And then when the rate goes up, they are ahead of the game with Think. Yeah, definitely. No doubt about it. That's part of what we're doing here. That chart says it all. Appreciate that. So let's see. Can smart meters regulate someone's temps, or have to be a smart thermostat? It would be smart meters and smart thermostats. Our app can tie into those things in each state. There's different things that can happen in each state. So it would be, you need smart meters first in order to be able to then access other smart portions of the program. So just to give you an idea there, let me put that slide back up for Illinois. I've had 3 people ask for the Illinois slide. Interesting. Okay, so there you go. There's the Illinois slide. All right, great. Let me keep rolling with questions. We still have a lot of people on here. I thought a whole bunch of people had already checked out. If I sign up with Think and get 3 customers with electric and community solar, you will have more than covered that fee. Oh yeah, definitely more than that by far. Most of our signups, are going to be people that sign up, especially now in most of these states. It's like you're going to make up your fee in like 2 months if there was a fee. If a client doesn't own the house, are there any issues with the installation of? There is no installation, so it doesn't matter. You don't have to own the house for community solar. I think we went over that. So you don't have to do that at all. This has nothing to do with buying solar panels or installing solar panels. It's just, do you want the discount because your state happens to be building solar farms? Would you like a discount on your bill or not? That's how it works with us. All right. So we have a power purchase agreement from our rooftop solar. Yep, absolutely. So, which is like putting the power company on your roof and signing a 20-year fixed rate contract with gigantic termination fees. It came with the house. Yeah, there you go, Steve. Think with community solar will be a much better deal for people. I definitely think that is correct. Yes. If you find customers with land that are interested to put up solar farm, what do? You can get in touch with Think Energy, and they will get you in touch with someone in the development side, with the development partners who can handle that. Will Illinois electricity customers, Brett, opt in for community solar before it is ready, or do they have to wait? They'll be able to opt in as soon as we launch the community solar program. They'll be able to start opting in. Most markets with community solar, New York and Maine will probably be the only states, I would say, that just have this massive runway. Illinois potentially, but the more mature the market is, like Illinois, like New York and Maine, those are mature states that have a lot of community solar. So customers will be able to go right onto the platform. The rest of the states, a lot of them, it's going to ebb and flow as we go. But sometimes you're like, we're basically pre-enrolling subscribers almost. Like, we know the farm isn't going to be available for like 6 months or a year, but get them on the platform anyway. And as soon as we can assign them to the farm, you get paid, even though they might not get credits for 6 months. That's how it works, because these solar farms are just in high demand. People are really signing people up as early as possible on these things. So that's how it works. If you have an on-grid solar system, will you be able to benefit from community solar? Yes, in all the states except for New York. You can, if you have solar panels on your house already or your business, you can actually in all the states except for New York, you can subscribe to community solar. And as long as you have a little bit of, like, if your solar panels are covering the entire usage of your bill every single month, like it's producing more than you use, then no, there'd be no reason to do it. But if you still have a little bit of a bill, you can then do that. So what about the 5 boroughs, Brian, in New York City? Are they open? Yes, for electricity and free energy. Community solar? No. There's no farms in New York City. And eventually we'll be able to do natural gas there too. So it'll be a triple threat in the 5 boroughs pretty soon. Matt here, my first time on here. Who are the owners of this supply company? And is their CMO done this before? So the owners of this supply company. So this is a training. So I appreciate you being on here. So you can learn more about that and the background of the company and the owners in one of our overviews. But just to give you an idea, the owners of this company, of Think Energy, is $100 billion. It's 2 companies, really. It's Oaktree Capital, which gave our company a $100 million investment to start up the best-in-class sustainable energy platform that exists on the planet, which we have now done, and it's about to launch. And Oaktree Capital is a subsidiary of Brookfield. And Brookfield is a $100 billion company that has assets in the energy sector, in generation facilities, and they're also the largest developer of utility scale solar farms on the planet. That's who owns 99% of our company. And the CEO of our company has done this before. His name is Mike Falquist, and he's built platforms from the ground up in energy and direct sales. He was Ernst & Young's Entrepreneur of the Year. He had a $300 million IPO with an energy company, and he just sold an energy company for $500 million to Vistra Energy. So yeah, lots of experience, All right, so let's see. As Nathan, as far as Illinois, are both markets, ComEd and Ameren, opening at launch? No, Ameren's opening later. So that's going to be down the road, months after we launch ComEd. So ComEd to start, later on Ameren. Community solar will be available in ComEd territory for that market, and eventually for Ameren when we get there. Yep, absolutely. John, I talked to a Connecticut contact who has a 0.0 rate with a third-party contract. That seems like a very low rate, and we will not be able to beat that, correct? Yeah, that they signed up when energy rates were low, and maybe they have that, but it's going to end, and as soon as they do, you should get them on this platform. Chris, thanks always for all that you do. Thank you. I know that you can't earn in Connecticut, but can you refer customers toward free energy in Connecticut? So Chris, that's a good question. Now, I'm not recommending you do that. Okay. So the reason I'm saying that is you can sign up as a customer in Connecticut with Think Energy right now, and you can refer people toward free energy. But you as an advisor, if you're looking to make money with that, or acquire those customers later on, you can't do that. So if you recommended to someone to sign up as a customer with Think, and then they went and referred 20 customers, or you did it yourself, that's fine. You can do that. You can do that right now. And you can go and you can get the free energy later on when we launch the free energy program in February. So you can't do it now, but you can do it later. So it's up to you. I mean, those customers won't count toward your team count, your personal customer count, toward promoting. You won't be able to get bonuses on them or residuals. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm telling people not to build for customers in Connecticut right now. It's just not the way to do it right now. I want everybody to kind of have that. So the timeline for all of our states is January 30th through February 6th right now. Okay, boy, we got a lot of questions coming in. I'm sifting through them. So I appreciate you being here. Let's see. All right. Bear with me here. Is free energy for customers only? Yes, it's for customers only. So the only way you can get free energy is to become a customer first and then use your customer app or customer website to then put referrals in there, like name and email address of somebody who you want to have become a customer, and then they can then sign up when they get that link sent to them from Think Energy. So it's customers only. That's correct. Now you can be an advisor and then sign yourself up as your first customer, let's say, and then go out and get free energy by using your customer app to go and get it. Joe, Sell the benefit of price certainty and not rate. That is absolutely it, Joe. That's exactly what we are doing here. If you sell based on the rate, you will lose customers based on the rate. If you sell based on stability, security, long-term predictability, and certainty, that's how you're going to keep the customer. And then you let us go to work with all of the tools that we have so that we can under promise and over deliver to the customer so that they never leave. When somebody comes on to Community Solar and they're on a long-term fixed rate, there's no way they're ever going to leave, because that's going to be better than anything they get from any other company right there. And then refer a few customers and start getting free energy, and they start getting every month a tax-free rebate, no taxes on it, just free money because you referred a few people. I mean, it's amazing. How much land does a community solar farm need? Like 10 to 50 acres. Usually it's 20 or more. Nathan, I missed the New Jersey market update. Have they updated their rates yet? Nope. We will be higher in New Jersey when we launch because they have not updated their rates yet. They're probably not going to update their rates for a month or two, I think it sounds like. So weeks or months, but in that range. If you cannot be an electric customer, that means you are not eligible for any of the other programs, correct? Yes, except for community solar. So just to give you an idea. You could technically do community solar only if you wanted to, but you're going to have to go through dual billing to do it. So get on to the electric side first, and then it opens up everything. All right. How does the engine fit into the program? Are they a partner? Not sure what you mean by that, Jay. But they will be your customer for switching over to solar. Correct. They will be your customer for switching over to solar, to community solar. Yes. Kathy, is there a fee if you leave the program? I think we did that because you move. No, moving is not a fee related thing. That's states don't allow that. Same thing like, if you cancel your electricity, like you no longer have an electricity bill, that's not a fee. Situation. So moving would be different. And yes, Engie, okay. Engie is not the company, Jay, that owns Think Energy. That's the company that owned Think Energy up until December. Now the company is owned by Energy Well, which is based out of Connecticut. Mike Falquist is the CEO. He used that $100 million investment to buy Think Energy from Engie. So Engie does not own this company anymore. Think Energy is a brand new entity, basically, that's being rebranded, and it's now owned by Energy Well, Oaktree Capital, and Brookfield. So Engie is if you see anything up there about Engie owning Think Energy, that's the previous company that owned them for the past 10 years. Not anymore. Let's see. And when you sign up, you get all the rules and promos for your home state. Yes, we'll have all of the rules and promotions and all the different bells and whistles that are available, to our customers. All of the terms and conditions, all that stuff will be available to everybody once we launch. You're not going to get that in advance. I don't think they can put it out in advance to people until they can actually be signing up customers. So Stephen, will all customers be offered a 3 to 5 year plan? Yeah, it's going to be in that 3 to 5 year range. They can just select whatever they have available. Most of them will be 3 years, but we'll have 5 years in some states as well. Steve, do customers need to refer customers in their own utility or state to get the free energy? No, they can be anywhere in the customers can refer customers anywhere in all of our markets, even in Connecticut, for free energy. So yes, the free energy program is wide open in Connecticut. You could be over in Illinois, sign up as a customer in Illinois and refer a Connecticut customer, and that counts towards your free energy. It just can't, you just cannot make money off of Connecticut customers as an advisor yet. Robert, always a great job, Tony. Thank you very much. Bobby, hey, all right, Bobby, appreciate that. Let's see, Tony, when is Georgia going to be on board? For natural gas, 2024. For community solar, maybe a few years. Not for electricity. Don't think that's going to be happening. So will there be a customer app or portal? There will be both. There will be a gaming features. Yes. So we've gamified the customer app, right? So you get to see things on there like how many people in your area have free energy, how many are getting 10% off, 40% off, 100% off. It gives you like medallions and all kinds of cool stuff in there. It's a really sticky app. This app that we acquired, it was basically, it's already been used in the past in the energy sector in smart meter market, like in Texas. And this app is basically like it has over 4 years of development and like I heard $10 million into the app, and we now own it. So really cool. It's proprietary. Can Maryland do everything from the beginning? So in Maryland, you'll be electricity and free energy right out of the gate. Later on, weeks or months after that will be community solar. And then in 2024, it will be smart meter market, and it will be a natural gas market. Wow. Maryland is going to be a 5-service state. It's going to have the quadruple threat plus natural gas coming up. Victor, do we actually provide the same bill amount each month, like $125 every single month, or is it variable but less variable? So the rate that someone pays for their electricity with a 3 to 5 year fixed plan with Think, their supply rate is fixed. It does not change. It's not variable. It doesn't go up and down. So for instance, if they use 1,000 kilowatt hours a month of usage, see, their usage could go up and down, but their amount that they pay per kilowatt hour stays the same. That's what's fixed. So if somebody uses 1,000 kilowatt hours in a month and their rate for electricity is 15 cents, I think 15 cents times 1,000 is $150. That's what their supply portion of their bill would be. That same customer the next month uses only 500 kilowatts instead of 1,000. Their bill is now $75 for their energy, because it's 500 kilowatt hours times 15 cents would be $75. So that's how it works. The amount per kilowatt hour always stays the same with Think. It does not change. We don't have variable rates. We don't have like these drop-off rates at the end. It's going from fixed to fixed, long-term fixed to long-term fixed. Can you give firm dates for initial advisor sign recruitment date? It's sometime probably in the next 7 to 10 days is what we're looking at, Brian. That's what we're looking at. We don't have the sign-up date yet. I can't even sign up yet. So I'll let you know as soon as that date, as soon as I can sign up, then me and my 3 co-founding partners of the Think Plus network, myself, Jim, Ed, Brendan, as soon as we can sign up, we'll be the first ones signing up. Then we will tell the world. As far as customer sign up, it's going to be most likely in that January 30th to February 6th range. What happens is if a 5-year, I think we talked about that moving, so that's good. Will there be a media package available for customers and advisors? Yes. That'll all be on our website. You'll have a full back office tracking system. You'll be able to see your whole team. You'll have tools. You'll have social media stuff, all kinds of flyers and stuff like that. You'll have a website that's designed to enroll customers and or advisors. There will be videos in there for each of them. So yep, full media campaign. They will be your customer in Connecticut if they add solar. So if we enrolled, say, 50 customers now and they switch to solar, we will get paid, correct? Yes, that is correct. Anytime someone adds community solar, again, you got to make sure you're saying community solar because it's different than solar, like rooftop solar. But yes, so you sign up a customer in Maryland today, or on the 6th of February when we launch. You sign them up. You get a $20 bonus, right? Or whatever you get for signing that customer up. Okay, great. Then 2 months later, they opt into community solar because it became available, and they know it because it's on their app and they got notified through a direct message on their app or whatever. You will get the community solar bonus and the residual. It's your customer. Let's see. Can we sign up people who do not have a computer or smartphone? Yes, you can let them use your computer or your smartphone, or they can call the toll-free number and sign up. Please upload today to Telegram or YouTube. It's going to be my Bible this week. Okay, Lee, I love it. That's great. All right. I think who's going to, Stephen, who's going to be the master distributor? That would basically be me and my partners. So just to give you an idea. All right. So let's see. I think we've gotten to all the questions. I'm just skimming back through them as we're going. I still seeing a few customers come in. Can you post the Pennsylvania slide again? Sure, I will definitely do that. I think it was ahead of the Illinois market slide. There it is. If you want to take a screenshot of that, go right ahead. Again, this is going to be posted. We'll have this, posted so that you can see it. Oh, New York law. I forgot all about that. Okay, so let me just give you this and then we'll let everybody get going because we're heading to the top of the hour. I knew this was going to be a long one with the market updates. So new law came out in New York, signed by Governor Kathy Hochul at the end of December, right in between like Christmas and New Year, right? Okay, so new law came out and it says the law will go into effect in 6 months. So it's going to go into effect right around July 1st. Okay. And the law says that if you are an advisor, consultant, if you're marketing or selling electricity, as you want to call it, not that we're selling anything, but if you're marketing electricity, you have to pay a $500 fee to the state of New York. That's a law. It's going to go into effect in July. On top, and it gets worse. This is a big money grab as far as I'm concerned. On top of that, you're going to have to have a $50,000 surety bond, like with a bank, which is probably going to cost you another $1,500 a year. So the state of New York is basically looking to get $2,000 from each person who's marketing electricity to their friends and family and neighbors in the name of lowering rates for people to save them money. So obviously, that's not going to happen, right? So we have some crazy things happening in that regard. But here's the thing. Because we are a community solar provider, we could simply then just market community solar to our customers and let Think Energy, who's bonded and licensed and paid their fees, to then sign up our customers for electricity and or natural gas or anything else that they want to. So just to give you an idea, that's kind of how we're going to do this. Because again, we have some shade here because we are a community solar provider administering the state program. It's amazing how when the state program for community solar, which is basically signing up customers, using their electricity bill to then account number to then get them discounts from the solar farm, which is a state program, community solar. It's amazing when it's the state program and their own program, they don't care what you do. You can just sign people up. They have no regulations there. They just get everybody on the program. When it's deregulation, right? And they can like go in and regulate it and make you do all these hoops, run through these hoops, and now try to get money from you. Well, that's just a different story altogether, but we have ways around that. Not around it. We have ways to be compliant because we offer multiple services that they can't stop us from bringing to people. So there you go. There you have it. So yes, it's a kind of a pain in the neck. It might change. We might end up just putting our customers in as referrals to Think. They go and sign the customers up and then they bring them back to us as advisors. It may just be like that instead of, going and signing them up directly ourselves. I mean, look, you could do it. Go pay $500 and get a $50,000 bond. But who wants to do that when you can just have Think do it for you for no cost? So is it a big change? Yes, but it's not really no, you don't have to pay. No, you don't. So that's just it. Just to give you, if you were working for a company that only did electricity supply and nothing else, they didn't have community solar, then yeah, you would have to pay. Like if that's all you were offering, yeah, you'd have to pay. Texas is going to be a great market. Absolutely. So we can go in and enroll people into community solar and then they click the option in their app to get electric. We can get paid for both. Yeah, it would work something like that. That's definitely how it will go. I eventually imagine that that's all we'll be doing. Regulators don't want people saying the wrong thing. And Think Energy doesn't want people saying the wrong thing. So I envision long term, we may just be doing that. We may just be bringing people onto the platform and just referring them in, and let Think Energy do all the communicating. That way, nobody says the wrong thing. Nobody can get shut down. The state can't go after anybody. Regulators wouldn't care, because if everything's above board and nobody's saying the wrong thing, then everybody's happy. All right, everybody. So this is being recorded. This is going to be the longest one I've ever posted, but appreciate everybody being here. We're going to let everybody get back to their evenings. Thanks for spending the time with us tonight. We're really excited about this program. From me, on behalf of me and my co-founding partners here at the Think Network, Jim, Brendan, and Ed, on behalf of all of us, appreciate everybody being here. We are looking forward to helping all of you build strong and profitable businesses, and by building the business the right way with integrity. All right, so Joe, Nathan, Terrence, wow, Merge, Rev D, Mary, Chris, Victor, Steve, another Steve, Jeannie, wow, another Steven, Lee, thanks for being here. Jay, multiple questions, appreciate those, Jay, you were really interested. Brian, Victor, Galaxy, whoever that is, Tony, Robert, wow, Bobby, got everybody on here. Thanks for being here. You guys have a great night. Tanya, thanks for kicking things off with the first question. I remember that. Nathan, again, appreciate Joe, JB, Rondell. I think we got that. Yes, I think we got that. Yes. Mark, Lori, wow, Brett, more Mark and Brian and Galaxy, and I just keep going. And John, I forgot to mention John. So again, thanks for being here. Chris, Terrence, Joe. I think we got to everybody. Eric, Tony, yes, got you guys. Okay, awesome stuff. Just making sure we go through and get everybody down here. Yes, we'll get this posted out to everybody. At one point, you saw 94 people on here. Is that how many people were here? Great. We got a lot of questions answered. That's why it took so long. So Susie, thanks for being here as well. Okay, everybody, have a great night. This is Tony Procopio from New Fairfield, Connecticut. Over and out. We'll see you tomorrow.